other option than to put my hands above my head and say, tranquilo, hombres, por favor, calm down.
Good evening, Jason.
Good evening.
How are you doing this week?
Excellent.
We had a game of pool, didn't we, this week?
We did. We had a lot of games of pool.
Yeah, we haven't done that much. I don't think we have.
I'm not really a pool player, but I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good to see Albert and Leonard and a few of the others.
Yeah, we found a new pool hall.
It was very, very nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Have you done anything else this week? You've been hard at work this week, haven't you?
Yeah, I did. We were kind of revamping the whole look of the podcast, so you should see that in episode 3.
I'm amazed by your work ethic this week.
Oh man, I was amazed at it myself. I actually kind of wish I had more time, basically every day, but I have to look after the baby as well. So
yeah, of course, yeah.
He gets in the way.
And I've got a lot of drinking to do, so I don't have time to do it. But no, yeah, that's why I've had a couple of nights out in the pub this week. And just stayed up way too. I'm getting into bad sleeping patterns again. I really want to try and stop it. Going to bed too late and getting up late.
Yeah.
But the other day, I mentioned our friend Dave.
We did
one night, and the other night, because England obviously the time difference is much bigger. I was up till 7 o'clock in the morning or something. But all we were doing was sending. I got into a sort of freestyle rap wormhole on one of the video sharing sites.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all we did. Just sort of sent links back and to for about 4 hours looking at it. It's amazing though. It's amazing freestyle rapping. I don't know if you're bothered about it, but
yeah, I'm not. I like hip hop, but I'm not that big into it.
This is like a different thing though. Even if you don't like hip hop, I think it's just it's an amazing thing to be able to do, especially the people that are really doing it.
That video of the only one I thought blew me away was that the B.I.G. the Notorious, the one when he's 16 or something.
I watched that.
That is phenomenal.
It's so good.
It's almost better than the recording of it because it's just raw,
Well, they're the ones I like because you can tell they had this program called Rap City Basement where they used to get people on. It's old. It started in '89, but they used to get people on to do freestyle raps, and you can tell the ones that have written something down and are ready. And then you got people like Snoop Dogg and
just doing it off
and
the top
Ludacris, and it's I just can't understand how you can do that for like 3 minutes and never miss a beat and say all crazy stuff, based on where you are and that kind of stuff, and just incredible.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
All right, let's get on with the show.
Yeah. So here we are at the door of room 101, and it's a bit creepy now this time. So it's Finn's turn tonight.
I'm going to put into room 101. I'll probably have to explain myself and mitigate things, but I'm going to put in movie remakes.
Oh, okay. All.
Well, that's the thing. I've got, there's a few things, a few caveats to that. What I want to say is I don't mean sequels.
No.
To movies. Like, to be honest, it's mostly to do with 80s movies that I'm bothered about, and there's a rash of remakes in there over the last several years.
No, you'll have a fair bit of explaining to do because you text me recently saying you can't wait for the new.
Well, that's one of the things I've mentioned.
Coming to America.
That's one of the things I've mentioned. Yeah, but mate, okay. Well, first of all, I don't want to put in sequels. A lot of people whinge about sequels, don't they?
So what about like? So there was Rocky 1, 2, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden a gap for 20 years and then they make another Rocky. Are you okay with that? Or would you classify that as a remake then at that stage?
It depends. I think what I really want to put in are just straight remakes.
Straight up, like not the same cast, not just basically.
Not the same cast. You just found a film that was good and you went, let's just make it again.
Okay. Yeah.
It's fucking lazy.
It is. Isn't it? It is.
And if you can tell me one that was better, or even approaching as good,
Yeah.
I've been racking my brain.
To play devil's advocate here now, I reckon.
I've also got some. Go on.
Yeah. No, but just I have to sit on the fence now until we come to the final conclusion at the end. But just to play devil's advocate, I reckon Hollywood are basically running out of ideas.
Well, that was one of my questions.
Sorry, I feel like I'm read your notes.
No, I don't mind getting into it. That was one of my questions.
That was one thing, right? But then also, I guess because they're running out of ideas and they have a whole new generation every few, 10 years or 15 years, they kind of get away with it. Because, like, I guess if we use... I'm trying to think of a sequel or
Well, listen, there's some things, like, for example, like I said, some people complain about sequels, but I love some sequels.
Yeah.
And, and you got certain trilogies of films.
Like Predator 2 is better than Predator 1.
I've got it written down right here, mate.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure it was better because I've watched both recently.
Okay.
It's still a very good sequel, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And RoboCop 2 is very good.
Alien 2 is probably better as well, isn't it?
That's I didn't even write
Alien
that
2
down.
is
Aliens
better.
is definitely better than Alien. Yeah. You're right.
Alien 2.
Anyway, I even liked Alien 3.
Yeah.
It was all like with the British cast and the prison ship was amazing. So I don't mind.
Terminators as well. Did you just say Terminators?
Yeah, Terminator 2 is probably better than Terminator. As I said, I've not got a problem with sequels.
Sequels are cool.
I've not got a problem with sequels, especially if they're made by the same sort of people who want to continue a story and do something different, or they see something there that they can continue. I'm just talking about I don't even mind like Deadpool and Deadpool 2. They were good.
Yeah, okay.
They were good. Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah, I loved all of the Lethal Weapons, but the last time I watched them,
Lethal
I was
Weapon
a
3
kid,
is
to
shite.
be honest. I haven't seen them in years, to be honest.
but anyway.
But I think you grow fond of the characters. Like, all the diehards are awesome. I think even the last one, even though it's totally far-fetched and over the top, but you just like seeing, the old characters.
I think a trilogy is...
That's where it should stop.
I think once you go past 3, you're getting into very, very murky waters.
Although a lot of the trees have been a bit shit as well. Like Godfather 3 is a bit iffy, isn't it?
Now they've released a new version of that, which is apparently very good. Or apparently they've done like a director's cut of it that you wanted.
Okay.
However, you're right, it was wank. And I always thought Back to the Future 3 was the weakest. A lot of people like that.
Is that the one where they're in the West?
Cowboys.
I didn't mind it, but yeah, you're right.
Watch it again.
Out of all 3 of them, it was a bit shy.
To me, it was the weakest. And and anything after Terminator 2 was gash, in my opinion.
I didn't even know there was. I didn't even know there was ones
like
after
Terminator Salvation.
that alone.
Terminator Valentine's Day. I can't remember what they were called. I can't remember what they were called, but they're all rubbish. And to be honest, I'll even give you. I'll tell you. This is another thing I'll add. I even don't mind if you had a movie. Like a monster movie or something that was years old.
Like Freddy.
No, not that. That's one of the ones that I think, what you doing?
Okay.
But I mean like a monster movie where they didn't have the special effects to do what they wanted.
Yeah.
At the time, and they're still great and you still love them. But like for example, Jurassic Park's one of the best films ever. And the special effects in that were amazing anyway. Now the following movies are terrible. However, I enjoy them all because the dinosaurs just get better and better and better. Another example is, do you know Ray Harryhausen?
No.
You will do. He did like the old 60s movies, Jason and the Argonauts,
Sinbad,
okay. With all those stop motion animals, beasts.
Yeah.
Now I love those. You can't ever take away from them. But I even like the latest. I think it was about 10 years ago now. But the latest do of Clash of the Titans, where they had Medusa and the Kraken. And
they've done them again, have they?
In 2010, they did one.
Oh Jesus, I didn't even know that.
And it got totally slagged. But the fucking monsters are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like it's a proper Kraken, not like a man in a fucking suit. And and there's Cyclops in it. I think Cyclops is in that one, but all the monsters look amazing. So that to me, that's kind of all right. I don't mind seeing like the movie I loved with like amazing special effects.
No, I'm really going to sound like an old man's arse, but I think CGI and all that is cool, but
I think I'm with you. I know it.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Like, I thought that like they had to put a good bit of effort in to come up with special effects before.
I'm not taking anything away.
And now they're just basically doing it with a computer. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm not like they look amazing. And if you have a big flash telly and a sound system, you basically feel like you're in the movie, and they look so realistic that they're almost fake. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I agree with you, Jason. I'm not taking anything because, those old Ray Harryhausen movies with stop motion, you can't take the heart of those movies is amazing.
Yeah.
The memories it gives you. And it's got a certain feeling to it that you can't ever get with computer graphics. However, it's just nice to see. I'm sure if fucking Ray Harryhausen had CGI, it'd been bang on it.
Oh, stop. It would have been mind-blowing.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But all I'm saying is it's good to see. It's like, wow, they're monsters. Like, I tell you another thing. I fucking hate Marvel movies now.
Yeah, I'm not a character or a comic guy.
Deadpool's all right, but to be honest, when the new Marvel movies started coming out, did quite like them. I'll tell you why as well, because do you ever remember the original Hulk
Yeah.
TV series and movie. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Hulk, now, I used to like comics a little bit, not that much, but Hulk I used to think was amazing. And
Yeah, Hulk is good.
But when the TV series came out and the movie, you were like, it was Lou Ferrigno, painted green.
He wore a pair of ripped jeans on.
With some ripped purple shorts on. And you were looking at it going, that's not what I really thought Hulk in the comic was. And then when the new Avengers movies came out, when I first saw that first one, I was like, oh my God, I've seen the Hulk.
Like anything in America, they do it to death.
Yeah, it's overdone now. It's overdone. Like the last one, do you remember when there was a...
Like even my son loves all these he loves Spider-Man and all that, and then when he actually sits down to try and watch the movie, he gets so confused because there's like been 17 different versions of Spider-Man, and he's like, which, and the thing is, for a 6-year-old, they want a bit of continuity, like, but then all of a sudden it's like young Spider-Man, and then it's, you know, it's like,
I mean, a 6-year-old wants to watch cartoon Spider-Man, not like a
or
movie.
even if
they take it a bit too seriously. None more so than the Batman movies with Christian Bale. I was watching them, I was like, come on, guys, it's a dude dressed up as a bat. Like, do we have to go into his psyche? The best Batmans were the ones with Michael Keaton and
I agree.
And the Joker. Because
I even enjoyed this TV series, man.
Of course,
that was amazing.
Because it's supposed to be a little bit camp and a little bit
because the comic book
cartoonish.
was too. Like the comic book was the old original Batman TV series is basically they put a comic book on TV.
Yeah. Well, in a way, I mean, some of the Batman comics were, the backstory of Batman is a little dark. That is true, and comics were a little bit dark, and they got
but it was a different time too. You couldn't put that on TV.
At the end of the day, I think the operative word here is comic. Let's not go too mental. Do you know what I mean? They're all dudes that wear underpants on the outside of their trousers, aren't they? So when, the old Batman,
if you're going to be a superhero and choose an animal, a bat isn't the first thing that springs to mind either.
I liked the dump kapow, bam, all this bullshit, and I even like I said, Tim Burton's Batmans were good because they were a bit more sort of very surreal and a bit more cartoony and much more enjoyable, in my opinion. So they do things to death, but what I'm really talking about is like these straight remakes where they don't bother trying to do anything else. They're just like, oh, that story's already been done. It was successful then. Let's just make it again with new people and whatever. The worst ones in my recent memory are Total Recall with Colin Farrell.
Didn't even know it existed.
I mean, the original Total Recall is a fucking masterpiece.
I don't think anybody will win in like acting awards or anything, but it is a good movie.
As like a 2 hours of escapism, you just couldn't get better. You know what I mean?
That's the one where the woman had the 3 boobies, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
You make me wish I had 3 hands.
Does he say that in the new one?
I honestly, I don't think he even got that far.
That's the only bit.
They took away all the sort of, I also like that director. He also directed RoboCop and Starship Troopers. His name's, I'll remember his name in a minute, but the Paul Verhoeven. And then they just turned it into some weak fucking action movie. It's like it was so different and mint when it came out. The other one was Point Break. You ever seen the remake of Point Break?
I don't. No, I didn't. I knew there was one. I knew that.
It's just trash.
That's a surfing one, isn't it?
Again, but the original Point Break was just so good. Such a good movie. So exciting and it's just so well done. And the new one, people point to it's got amazingly choreographed action scenes. It's like, okay, it's got these people in those flying suits. And they are good, but it's like, but I can watch videos of that on YouTube, but I don't need it to be interspersed with just this dreadful story and acting that you fucking concocted. You know what I mean? I don't need that. And then the worst, like you said, the worst culprits are Disney. Those sort of live actiony Lion King and Jungle, what they did, I just hated. I hated them. Yeah, because
leave them alone, like they're classics, and you can rewatch a cartoon anytime you want. Like, you know what I mean? It's
just that you didn't even do it. Like, you made it all look real. So now, instead of having like sort of cute animal characters that smile, you've got real animals with no facial expressions whatsoever. Like, the lions don't smile, and the warthog and the meerkat, they don't look like because they always base the faces on the humans, don't they, in the cartoons, and so it just had more life. And now you're just watching like a lion wandering around the jungle. It's it looks good, but it's not a movie, and it was just the same movie. Didn't do anything to it. I think so. It was just fucking useless. And then I started to think about how they're like redoing things in a more PC woke way.
Yeah, I knew this was coming. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the female Ghostbusters. And
I didn't watch it. Like,
you even told me that the new James Bond's going to be a woman. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Now, I've got no problem with more roles for women, more roles for racial minorities, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, why don't you want to like
Just
write your own stuff?
Yeah, but exactly. It's like I'm the same. Like I think there should be more, movies based around a woman lead or a gay lead or whatever. I have no problem with any of that. But don't rewrite history. Basically,
Don't bastardize one of my fucking loves from childhood.
Yeah.
Make another good movie that's all women.
Yeah, but like exactly, why can't there be instead of it being a British male spy, why can't it be an American female spy? Just start a whole new series,
What's she going to be called? Jemima Bond.
No, I think they're only. I have no idea. I think they're only going to use the 007.
Anyway, I just don't get why you have to take something that was already made and it was good, and now you have to copy it full of women.
Just because that's the current political climate, which is, look, for God's sake.
By all means, get an all-female cast. I'd go and see it. But I'd rather see something that those women had developed themselves and were going like, yeah, this is what we want to do with the movie. Just do that. Yeah. Why don't you do that?
And I haven't seen the female Ghostbusters one, and I probably never will. And it's not because I don't want to watch a movie that's kind of all females. It's just like, those were classic movies when I was a kid. If they kind of made it in a way, I don't like. I say no. I could be. They could have done this if they had made it in a way that it was. Some of the lads were like so old that they just wanted to continue training on, and they just happened to pick 4 women, whatever.
They do that in a lot of the remakes,
but I don't think they did in this one. I think they just kind of totally like, the whole men thing didn't exist and whatever.
All right, well, once I started reading about this a little bit, I found a list of movies that they're planning to remake. Wait till you hear some of these. Okay. All right, they're planning to remake War Games. Leave it alone.
Oh, no way, man.
It was amazing. Just leave it alone. They've always been planning to remake The Goonies, which I'm very, very unsure about, to be honest.
I love that movie so much.
Now, I know if it was done by Richard Donner and Steven Spielberg, I'd like, okay, if it's in your hands, let's see what you can do with it. But I'm very reticent about a Goonies remake, to be honest. But they did say if there was ever a Goonies remake, they'd have old cast and some new cast in it. That they did say. And they're thinking of remaking An American Werewolf in London. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Yeah.
They're going to ruin it. It's going to be like Twilight, I reckon.
That one I reckon they could pull off, though, to be honest. Yeah.
It won't have the same comedy, because that's the thing, these movies, because they didn't have the effects were good in American Werewolf in London, but because they didn't, they really relied on like a character, the comedic aspect of it, the performances of the actors, and how it was like a bit tongue in cheek. He kept seeing his mate dead, and he kept rotting more and more away as it goes.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I think now it would all just be like amazing quality werewolves running around. They're also thinking of remaking Scarface.
No.
I don't know why you do that. Although Scarface is a remake of Scarface from like the 30s. I didn't even know.
Okay, didn't know that.
And they're going to remake Little Shop of Horrors. Police.
That was shit to begin with. That musical thing.
Oh, mate. Come on now.
That's a music. Finn.
Come on, mate. Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, alert. This could be the end of the podcast. It was... If there was no singing in it, I would have loved that film.
It's great.
Any movie where they start singing, like, what?
I don't mind musicals.
What's going on?
I'm going to annoy you. I like Grease as well. Remember Grease?
Yeah, I do.
You won't even look me in the eye anymore.
God.
Jason, look at me. I'm still the same person. Now they're going to make some just terrible ones like Cliffhanger. Why remake that? I have no idea. Big Trouble in Little China. Don't know how you could remake that anyway.
Yeah.
In this climate.
No.
And also, this is the one I think, I don't know what you plan to do with this. They're thinking of remaking Police Academy.
Ah, come on. That's going to be dirt, because that was... I haven't watched it in years, but I guarantee you they're going to end up making a woke piece of shit.
Exactly.
It's...
Exactly, mate.
Because half those gags were racist and sexist and
Police Academy,
and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that is right, but leave that stuff in the past. But leave us enjoy it every once in a while. We pull it out, have a look at it, laugh and go, yeah, we were different.
Honestly, Police Academy is definitely a movie of its time. I love it. And there was racism in it and sexism. However, it was dealt with in a way that they were the bad guys. They were always the bad guys.
Yeah.
The racists.
Exactly.
You were supposed to not support those guys.
Yeah.
So it just made them more evil.
Yeah, the sexists
more detestable.
There was a lot of ass slapping and looking at boobies and stuff like that. But that was the time as well. That's what people all forget. It was I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying that it was right, but that's the way it was. That's just the way it was.
Anyway, that was the one where I thought, I don't know what you'd do with Police Academy
No,
if
you
you
can't.
remade it into like 2022.
You
I have no
can't,
idea.
really.
Anyway, so that's about it, really. I know you mentioned coming to America. I just love Eddie Murphy so much. I just want to see what he can do. And I know it's like a continuation of the story, and it's all him and all the other actors. It will be shite.
If it's a movie of where they're just seeing how he's getting on now,
No. Do you want to know what it is?
is it a new person coming to America and he gets involved?
No,
in
he's
somehow?
coming back to America because he finds out he's actually got a son in America who's the real heir of the King of Zamunda.
Yeah, but so it is like
he comes to America
it
to
is
find
a
it.
continuation. It's not just like he just makes a random cameo in it.
No. It's Eddie Murphy needs to come back to America again
Okay.
to find his son. So
Yeah, that might be alright.
I mean,
like.
yeah,
Eddie is pretty good. Like I think he'll pull
we'll
it
see.
off. Like,
Might be a bit rusty now. We'll see.
Yeah.
I hope it's amazing. Let's just put it that way. But I know it won't be.
Yeah, that was a classic. Yeah.
All right.
I'm
so
surprised they haven't had a go off like Brewster's Millions in that. That was a classic.
yeah, they've done that though. They've done a movie like that
I
recently.
think you're right.
There's a Chinese movie like that
Yeah.
because my
You're
students were
right.
telling me about a Chinese
Yeah.
movie. And they told me the whole thing. It was to practice. It was in English. We were practicing passive voice sentences. They had to describe parts of a movie using the passive voice in English. And as they were telling it to me, I was listening and going. And the idea was it was a game. Then I had to guess what movie after them telling me things. At the end of it, I was like, it can't be. I was like, is this Brewster's Millions? And they were like, what the fuck is that? They had no idea. But it sounded exactly like Brewster's Millions. And they were like, no, it's this movie in China where he has to lose all this money. I'm like, mate, you want to watch Brewster's Millions? This has already been done. Richard Pryor did this like years ago, and they actually wrote the movie down. They're like, what's that movie called? I want to see that.
Brilliant, love this.
So maybe they could.
I reckon the Walk Hollywood should have a go off Blazing Saddles as well. That would be a funny one to try and make all walk.
Like I said, that's the thing. What you said is true. When movies are made, they're products of their time.
Yeah.
If you can't look back at them and justify them by parameters or rules we have now, how can you do that?
And you can't whitewash history either. Like, I mean, that stuff happened. We should learn from history, if anything. And if you whitewash it and try to ban all of these movies and then remake them in your own clean version, there's no lessons learned from that then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look, it is what it is. Like, so.
So after all that, then are you going to put?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I. No, but like.
What are you around?
Yeah, I. To be honest with you, all the movies you mentioned should have been left alone, and I don't know whether that's because I'm being an old man's arse about it or whatever. But I agree. Yeah, no, it definitely goes in.
As I say, I just think straight remakes where you've done nothing.
Yeah,
you
because-
haven't thought about anything. You've just gone, okay, let's get Beyonce and whoever else is hot at the moment and fucking remake this movie.
It can't be that bloody hard to come up with new ideas.
There
You
must
know,
be
it-
there must be millions
I
of
could even come
aspiring
up with
writers
a better
giving
movie
people
now. Like.
giving people scripts.
Yeah.
You're not telling me there isn't one good one in
There,
there.
of course there is. Well, like, give me 20 minutes in a fucking notepad and I'll fucking come up with a good idea. Like,
Right, that's going to be a new section
movie
on this
ideas.
podcast. Yeah, movie ideas. Pitch me a
Definitely,
movie.
like, yeah.
All right, they're going in.
Yeah.
Right, goodbye, remake.
And she goes.
All right, we're moving on to snacks unknown. This week it is Jason's turn. We had a little picnic last week. So
We did. Satan's picnic, as you text me, which was...
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Satan's picnic.
It was good, though. Well, the jelly thing, I found out afterwards it was pig skin in jelly. So them little bits were pig skin. And that the donut gone wrong thing was phenomenal.
I've eaten it all since.
Yeah, of course. I would be... So I slipped up big time. I left my house and my bike, and halfway here I realised I was after leaving my planned one for this week at home. But I luckily in China...
You're never far away from it.
You're just, no matter what, like I walked past one shop and went, definitely going to be able to get something in there. Went in there and got a...
Yeah.
I got something. I got a substitute. No, it's not as good as I thought the one I had, because I had done a bit of research on each item as well. But anyway, it doesn't matter. That'll come in a few
If
weeks.
there's one thing you can always find in this city, it's a mad snack.
It is. So I went to 7-Eleven, which I'm not sure. It's basically a convenience store. You have them all over the world. You don't have them in Ireland, but it's like Spar or something here. But like.
Yeah.
They have normal stuff, but they have some weirdy stuff, and I try to get. We're not always going for weird stuff, but tonight I just went for snacks that I definitely wouldn't purchase myself, but
Yeah.
fancied giving them a go.
Well, that's what I did last week. Was I was a bit confused about what to choose, so I just walked down the local street and I just chose 2 things that I just didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know what they are. Let's have a go,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But,
And what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to kind of take a bit of video footage. We don't have to do it right now, but there's enough of them here so I can take video footage so you can see them from all different angles in the packet and stuff like that.
well, I'm sure they'll be able to see that very same video footage you're talking
They
about.
will, because it'll be right on now. I don't know why I mentioned it.
Just in case you didn't know what that magical moving picture was, it's Jason's video.
Yeah, okay. That's going to get cut out.
No, leave that. All right.
All right, so
Come
we'll
on.
move on. I have two items and a beverage, because I think we should have beverages as well. So I'll start with one of them, which I think I thought it was quite interesting that you can get basically, it's like barbecue in a bag. Just like something,
Alright.
it's called Mouth Party. And there's a very dapper
man.
young man on this, as you can see on the screen. There's
That
a very
sounds
dapper
like-
young man on
That sounds
the.
like something you ordered from an escort service.
I have no idea what kind of if it even is meat. There's no even ingredient.
I can read the Chinese.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Cool.
It says
I bet it's going to be pretty decent, but
it's beef.
okay. I doubt it for the price I paid for it.
It claims to be beef. It is beef, though. I'm not sure what the other one was, but I know
This
that-
was I think this was like 6 RMB. So 6 RMB is what, like 60 pence.
Yeah.
That's a lot of beef for 60 pence. Like,
Yeah, it is. However, I mean,
why not?
it's 60 pence including 5 sticks, so they
Yeah.
didn't even spend it all on the meat.
Yeah, 6 even,
Sick.
and a nice little bit of packaging as well.
I love the fact that it's called Mouth Party. Though. That's another thing we should mention. Just the sort of
Some of
the mad sort of English
Yeah.
names they use over here is quite amusing as well.
I like the lad looks very happy anyway.
He does. He certainly does.
Oh, it's greasy.
He's at a mouth party.
Yeah, I've no doubt, but I wouldn't buy them like so.
Well, especially because you can go on the street and get fucking like just fresh barbecue, can't you?
Yeah,
Do we smell it? Smells like everything else
it
we've had.
smells like every one of those snacky kind of things.
Smells
that
like the
they-
chicken's feet.
Yeah.
Smells like the beef, the pork slab of jelly. Smells like the fucking
duck neck.
silkworm, the duck neck.
Yeah.
Smells like everything.
They have this combination. I think it's like cumin, some sort of chili, and Szechuan peppercorns or something. And it's basically all smells like that. The feel it's very oily anyway.
Yeah, it's glistening.
It is glistening. It's so
I'll just. It's quite tender. The texture seems quite tender.
okay. If these are good, I'm like for that price, I'm gonna be eating these a lot more. Like,
All right.
okay, let's go.
Go.
That's freaking good.
That's very good.
Yeah. Holy crap. That's what like
That's the best 60 pence you've ever spent.
it is, man. It's fairly spicy now, but what I like about it is it's I like jerky and things like that, but I find they're a bit
Too chewy.
yeah, exactly. It's too chewy. Unless you find really good quality one, it's good. But like this is like
This is very.
I'm pretty sure this is laden with chemicals. Like,
Yeah, to tenderize it.
mm,
Has it got bits of fat in it as well? No, it's all beef.
that's pretty good.
It's not bad at all.
I don't.
I'm amazed how good that is coming out of a plastic
Mm,
packet.
does it taste a bit fake? Is it really beef, or is it that fake beef? You know that's becoming a new. A lot of the like Starbucks and all
Well,
of
it's
them.
funny you should say that because there's 2 characters before the beef, which I don't recognise.
I reckon it could be imitation beef. Do you know they're coming out with like?
I mean, it is that's just the character for meat
Okay.
and cow,
Yeah, you're right.
but
That could be flavour.
I mean they
This
would,
could be tofu.
they probably wouldn't say fake beef
They could.
on the packet.
Chinese would. No, it's like it's becoming a thing. Like KFC are going to do a plant-based burger, basically that it tastes like meat, but it's actually made out of plants. Like
That's different because that's to attract like vegetarians. These are bloody good.
if
That's to attract vegetarians.
Mm.
I think it is probably meat. I don't know under whose regulations, but I think it is probably could be classed as meat. Probably falls within the parameters of something you can sell as meat.
it's excellent. It's very good. I will be getting this again. It's gonna take all my power not to eat all of them before we take some shots and videos of them. But it's good.
All right,
I like
good. Next one. I'll pop the second one back. All right. Well, that one was excellent. I've never even seen that before in 7-Eleven. And
It was down at the bottom
I've been in
shelf as
7-Eleven
well.
a lot.
The next one, this one is dried fish.
Oh, yeah.
The name on the packet is all kinds of roasted fresh fish. It's seemingly a bit of roasted fresh cod. This was a
Do you
little
get
bit
things
more
like that
expensive.
in your country,
This was
like
dried
do we
fish.
get things like this? I don't know. I've
We
never
don't
lived there
really-
for so long. I forget what it's like. I always think like, now let me just explain to you what this is. But they're probably like, we've got that, dickhead.
No, because I remember when Angel was living there, she struggled. Like, she likes a bit of dried fish once in a while, and I used to hate it because, like, it wasn't. Yeah, you can. As soon as you open the package, you can. The room fills with, fish smell. Basically,
Pungent aroma.
take a bit. Super fishy.
It's definitely fish.
This was a little bit more expensive now, but cod is expensive. So this was 16 RMB.
It's not the texture of it's not what I expected.
It looks like somebody rolled over a prawn cracker, basically.
Yeah, it's very sort of floury. It almost looks like a sort of flat bread, texture-wise. Anyway,
Get it all over your floor.
well, it smells fishy as fuck, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like.
And the texture is like I said, it's almost. Oh, I think it's almost like looks like a sort of dry naan bread.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's go for it. Yeah. It's very dry, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's like eating paper, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah. It
like
tastes
it-
pretty good.
Oh, there is a bit of like a dodgy, fishy back note to it, all right. But it says like
Would Angel murder this?
I tried the stuff that she tried before, which I think was squid, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was actually, apart from the smell, I thought the flavour was pretty good.
When that squid is barbecuing on the barbecues outside, that's one of the worst smells I've ever smelled.
Oh, it's terrible, yeah. Because it's like it's been frozen for 17 years and then they took it out and
It's just like it's almost like it's like acrid in,
Yeah.
in your throat. It probably, I mean, it probably tastes all right, but the smell is just unreal. It's so fucking horrible.
No, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Oh, you definitely don't need to throw a big chunk into your mouth. That's what I noticed. She used to like pull it off in strings and eat it. I'm after dumping a whole lot of it, and I reckon I'm going to be chewing it for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, because it is literally like an envelope.
It is.
All right. Well, I think overall that's pretty good. I'd definitely go for the beef barbecue sticks in a plastic packet for this, but feasible as a snack.
It is. Not bad at all.
I'm not going to finish it though, which says a lot. I am going to pop it in the ashtray.
And you may have tried this again. No, this is it is a Baijiu, but I've always wanted to try this one. I've been told from all the cheap Baijius that this is supposedly pretty good. I don't know. You've probably seen the bottle, but have you heard of this one or seen it?
Is it Arguto?
I'm not sure.
I've definitely seen the bottle.
Yeah, somebody told me that this, like, if you're going for a cheap one, that's not too bad. How much did you pay for your one last week? 20 something.
15 renminbi.
Yeah, this was 8.
All right.
There was cheaper there, but I always wanted to try this one. This was recommended to me. So basically, for 80 pence, I got like 300, almost 300 ml of 42% alcohol.
I reckon it's going to be fucking disgusting. That's what
Whoa, that smells like every cheap. Although I kind of starting to like that smell.
The one I bought last week might be better than this. That's what I think. Well, it's double the price. It was double the price. All right, down in one.
Yeah, there you go.
End to the snack. It's good to finish. I was actually, when I went out for dinner on Sunday after we were out on Saturday playing pool, I just drank Baijiu from the minute I got to the restaurant. I like it.
Yeah.
It's nice to drink with food.
It is very good with food.
Yeah.
It is. But again, you have to have a decent quality one.
Are we necking? Are we doing this whole thing?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cheers.
Campe. I like that. It's not as harsh as there's a sweetness to that one, isn't there?
That's not too bad. The one we did last week was harsher on the
Yeah.
shooting than that. Yeah.
I could I'd happily drink. No, well, not happily, but
Yeah, that's fine. That was okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did like normally I get a bit of a gag like this one. I was like, no,
Well, I remember when the Baijiu is cheap.
they're right.
I told you when I went to the shop, I said, "What's the cheapest Baijiu?"
Mm.
Which is a weird question, but when you could tell when you drank that one last week, I can't explain it, but you have to keep clearing your throat. Just like it feels like you have to keep clearing your throat, like something's happening in the back of it, which doesn't normally happen with all that. That one was way worse than this. That one, it felt like I was like gurgling breath. Down.
Yeah.
This one's not too.
I could drink that, like, if we were going for a Chinese meal, like, if somebody pulled out one of them,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too upset, like.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all.
It's very sweet.
And it's 42%. It's amazing.
Yeah. It was actually, that's quite, I'm actually amazed at how good that is. They have a bigger bottle, they have a half-litre bottle for 14 or something. It's ridiculous.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Imagine if we'd have had Baijiu in our youth when you were like hanging out down the park.
Stop. That and Sprite. Imagine that with a bit of Sprite.
Yeah, exactly.
A bit of 7-Up, man. You'd be
Baijiu and Sprite as a 14-year-old. It's like, how much money have you got? I've got £1. That's fine.
no problem. There's a 3-litre.
Yeah, we get a bottle each.
It'll do you for the rest of your fucking 6th year in school.
Life would have been different.
Oh, stop. No, they weren't too bad, no.
All right, thank you, Jason.
No problem.
Thank you for my vacuum-packed foods and Baijiu. Another little picnic.
Not bad, not
So
bad.
wait for next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
Cool. So we're going to try a new section now, because some of the feedback we've been getting that people would like us to maybe mix it up a little bit sometimes. So we're going to give a Q&A a go, where one week I come up with a question and give it to Finn, and he gives his answer, and then vice versa. And then eventually we probably get guests on to do it as well.
Looking forward to that.
So we'll crack right into it. The question I have for you, or the task I have for you, is you've been given the power to travel back in time, and
Good.
you can swap 2 actors from 2 movies. So basically you take one actor and you put him into some movie that the other actor has been in, if you know what I'm saying.
So let me get this straight. I have to pick a movie and then say I'd like to replace the actor that was actually in the movie with an actor of my choice.
Yes, but then
the actor I've taken out, I have to put in, but not in the same movie I removed.
No.
I just have to put him in. Oh yeah, of course.
One of his movies.
Right.
So basically, if I just pick 2 random ones, you're taking Arnold Schwarzenegger out of Commando and
replacing him with Macaulay Culkin.
and you don't have to put Arnold Schwarzenegger in Home Alone, but you have to find another Macaulay Culkin movie, which is basically probably only Home Alone.
Yeah, no, he has done a few of them. Yeah,
But you get, and there's no time constraints. There's like, it doesn't matter if they're dead or alive. You can swap a man with a woman. It doesn't matter. There's no constraints.
Okay,
But you just have to give your reasons for it then as well.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, you did give me this question just before the podcast, so I have had a little. It's a very, very hard question, Jason.
It is,
to be honest, because I could only think of movies that I really liked because they're the movies that stick in your memory, really.
Yeah.
And thinking about them with some other person is just almost impossible, I think. But all right, well, to be honest, the very first thing that came to my mind was, and this is not really my answer, but I just want. Have you ever seen a movie called Green Street Hooligans?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was I'd just take Frodo Baggins out of that.
Yeah, I literally. It's funny you say that. I was sitting there thinking, because I have one as well that I.
What's his real name? It's not called Frodo Baggins.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah. I don't even want to put him in anything else. I just want him out of that movie.
Because it could have been a bit better, but
it was a pretty shit movie anyway.
Yeah, but like you're going through the whole movie going, why is Frodo Baggins a fucking is it Frodo?
I understand that Frodo Baggins might get interested in football hooliganism, but at the end he's like knocking out like 6-foot brick shit houses.
It's not going to happen. Like
it's ridiculous. So my first thought was get him out of that movie.
Doesn't matter where he goes.
Yeah, just remove his role.
Yeah.
Just But then I started thinking a little bit more, and one movie that came to mind was. Okay, the person I want to take Kevin Costner out of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh, I actually thought of that one as
Did
well.
you really?
It's not my one, but yes,
I'm amazing. Anyway, yeah, I want to take Kevin Costner out of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves because I think Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I don't know.
He's a bit too romantic comedy in my eyes. Like
it's just it's terrible. He's like it's like a classic sort of English myth in it tale,
and you're putting a rom-com star in to do.
I wouldn't even mind an American actor in it. I don't mind.
No, it doesn't.
I don't mind Morgan Freeman being in it because he's just Morgan Freeman. But it's just, he just looks a bit of a twat in it. And I do like the movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Everyone else in the movie, Mike McShane from America, the big fat guy that plays Friar Tuck.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alan Rickman is amazing as the Sheriff of Nottingham, like literally amazing. I think in that movie. So it's a great movie.
Yeah.
And but Kevin Costner all the way through, you're thinking, oh fucking hell, he's here again, and he's Robin Hood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now when it came to replacing him, I didn't know what to do. But basically, I thought he had to be replaced with an English dude. That's
Okay.
what I wanted.
Fair
Now,
enough.
again, I tried to think of a few Americans, but I couldn't think. So my first thought was Sean Bean.
Okay.
I wanted to put Sean Bean in the Robin Hood role.
But it's going to be difficult to put Kevin Costner into
That's
any one of Sean Bean's movies.
The only thing I thought he could go in was when Sean Bean was a baddie in a James Bond movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of the more recent.
Kevin Costner as a baddie.
Well, I thought it might be quite interesting to see him as a bad guy. I don't think he plays bad guys that often. And he did play a bad guy in one movie called A Perfect World, where he was an escaped prisoner. And he was kind of a good guy as well.
Okay.
And anyway, that was the only one I could think of. So it's not really a great one either. I just wanted to remove Kevin Costner. So then the other person I thought was maybe you could have Christian Bale as Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be quite good.
He'd take it way too serious though.
Maybe.
He'd be like method acting that he was, he'd be going around shooting lads with arrows for months, definitely. Like,
yeah.
there's no difference. He's a good actor, don't get me wrong.
He is a good actor. And he's got a kind of cheeky look about him as well. Robin Hood's a bit cheeky, I think. Or either so I imagine.
He's an excellent actor. He's not a good actor. He's an excellent actor, but he does take it a bit
Again, I think the problem is what Christian Bale movies. American Psycho, Kevin Costner.
No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
The other thing was I thought just stick him in Batman because I fucking hated Batman anyway. Pop Kevin Costner in Batman suit.
Yeah, he could pull that off.
Anyway, the only other idea I had was this was also a pretty gash movie, but the book is very good. The Beach.
Yeah.
Remember The Beach? And the movie's not great, but it could have been good. The book's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a bit fluffy, isn't it? It's a bit.
Leonardo DiCaprio is awful, I think.
In that movie.
In The Beach.
Yeah, I like Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor. Like he's.
Yeah, I do. I think he's a bit overrated, to be honest, in my opinion. But he's done some very good things.
Wolf of Wall Street, no?
Yeah, that's one of his good ones.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought I've taken him out of Wolf of Wall Street as well.
What? I liked him in that.
Yeah, it's not one of his worst,
Okay.
but some things I don't understand why he's so revered. He's okay.
Okay.
He's okay.
What about Django Unchained? I thought that's a fantastic scene.
You're going to pull out. There's at least 4 or 5 that he's good in.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I thought I'll take. I don't know what you're going to think of this, but the more I've been thinking about it since I decided, I've been thinking.
This is your final one.
This is a masterstroke.
Okay.
But I want to take Leonardo DiCaprio out the beach and put Danny Dyer in it.
Yeah, because The Beach requires a cheeky kind of a lad. Like,
the book was about an English dude.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, and I just think that not that makes any difference, but I just can imagine Danny Dyer going, yeah, he's got a fucking silent, mate.
Yeah.
Do us effort, you cunt.
I love Danny Dyer. Like,
I do too. I really love him.
He's a legend.
Now,
yeah.
I'm sure you might already be ahead of me, but
so you need to put. It doesn't matter.
Well, this is my thought. I thought there literally isn't another Danny Dyer movie that you could put Leonardo DiCaprio in. Like, I'm never putting Leonardo DiCaprio in The Football Factory.
No, that's not going to work.
And I found it hard to think of any other Danny Dyer movies, to be honest with you. But
Bang him into EastEnders.
That's what I did think. Let's have Leonardo DiCaprio running the Queen Vic.
Yeah.
I thought that might be an idea. But then I thought, okay, the only thing we can do is Danny Dyer did a TV series called The Real Football Factories, where he goes around England and Europe meeting real football hooligans. I want to put Leonardo DiCaprio in that.
Because you want him to get the shit kicked out of him.
I just think Danny Dyer, even though he's like, he's not like a sort of true hard man, he's just a bit of a fucking company white boy. And but I just thought it'd be amazing to see Leonardo DiCaprio. I just watched an episode of it where he went to like Burnley and Manchester and Liverpool and met like the firms there. And the pub he was in Burnley, I thought, I'd love to see Leonardo DiCaprio in that pub, meeting like John from the Burnley. I forgot what the Burnley firm are called. I can't remember.
I'll flash it up.
Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad, okay.
And the people they met in that pub, they were awesome. They were funny as fuck, but and Danny Dyer was kind of a fish out of water being from London anyway. I'd love to have seen Leonardo DiCaprio in that pub having a pint with these guys and then talking about football hooligans. So that's my final choice.
I like it.
Put Danny Dyer in The Beach. and put Leonardo DiCaprio doing the Real Football Factory's TV show.
I like it.
That's
I
what
like
I
it.
want.
I like it a lot. You put a bit of thought into it. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Have you got any?
Yeah, I was the same. After I created the question, I was like, oh God, that's a bit tricky. Because I started like, there's a lot of people you want to pull out, but then putting that person into the role. Basically, I took Rain Man.
You're going to take people out of Rain Man?
I'm taking Tom Cruise straight out. I'm going to take Tom Cruise out of every movie he's been in.
Do you know what? This is amazing because I was actually, when I was thinking about this movie thing, I was thinking, I bet you lots of people would take Tom Cruise out, and I can't wait for you to hear, because I wouldn't take Tom Cruise out of any movies he's ever been in.
What?
But go on.
Yeah, Tom Cruise he's coming out, and I'm putting Al Pacino in there instead, because I don't think it's believable that they're brothers to begin with. Like I think Al Pacino and
Rob De Niro?
what's the Rain Man?
Dustin.
They're kind of a similar caliber, I would say, acting wise. And I think it would have worked a little bit better. Right. But then I had the struggle of like which Tom Cruise or which Al Pacino movie am I going to put? And then that's
the massive struggle.
I was thinking Scent of a Woman, right? Because like who cares, right? But then I forgot about this. One of the worst movies made ever in history, Jack and Jill. Al Pacino's in that, so we can bang Tom Cruise into that one.
Oh, right.
You know the Adam Sandler, the inverted commas comedy.
Oh, I suppose I didn't. Yeah, for some reason.
He plays himself in it, but
for some reason
you can also change that to Tom Cruise, like, so it would have worked. Like,
yeah.
I think he brings her for a date with his mother or something like that. Is it or or his sister or whatever?
I didn't even think about it that way. That he didn't have to. It wouldn't have to be like the main role. You just have to.
No, he just had to be in it. Like, you don't have to.
But what you're saying does make sense. You could remove Al Pacino and make it Tom Cruise. You could
definitely
yeah.
Because he plays himself, so you just change it to she fancies Tom Cruise instead of it's Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And I think Al Pacino is phenomenal in pretty much anything he's in.
He is. Absolutely.
So he could have he probably would have made Rain Man like even better than what it was. Like.
Yeah, I'd say I won't labour this point, but I thought Tom Cruise was fucking brilliant in Rain Man, mate. I also think Tom Cruise is a fucking lunatic in real life. You know, I don't want to go for a pint with him.
No.
But I've never seen a movie that Tom Cruise is in that I didn't like.
No, they're all good movies, but I have a repulsion to the man. Like he's good in one where he's like going around in a taxi. He's like a hitman or something.
Collateral.
That's decent. Like that's probably one where I went, I actually misjudged this man.
Yeah.
And like you can't take Tom Cruise out of Top Gun. Top Gun wouldn't be Top Gun because that's a cheesy movie anyway, right?
Well, I think what I liked about him in Rain Man was that, you know, Dustin Hoffman was doing an amazing performance as an autistic dude. But I just really liked Tom Cruise's sort of, you know, young, you know, sort of like sort of yapping puppy kind of thing. You know, not really involved in the, you know, ignoring his feelings. I just think he did that well, like a sort of like a superficial sort of dude. However, you know, I respect your opinion. But I think, I mean, I don't know what obviously most of the world likes Tom Cruise, but as an actor, if he's in a movie, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I actually went and started watching clips. I need to go and watch all of those movies again because I just watched some trailers on YouTube, so that because I couldn't remember them, and I was like, yeah, Al Pacino will definitely work in Rain Man. And then I looked at Scent of a Woman, which I had in my head was going to be crap.
It's brilliant.
And I was like, that's actually pretty good. I need to watch this again. So
Scent of a Woman is good.
So he's going into Jack and Jill, which I'm pretty sure was.
It's funny that like as I said, we'll wrap it up. But it's amazing because I was considering taking Leonardo DiCaprio out of something or something and replace it and putting him in, or taking Chris O'Donnell out of Scent of a Woman and putting Leonardo DiCaprio in there because I fucking hate Chris O'Donnell, that guy. But he is good in Scent of a Woman. You know, it's a little minder that takes him around. But I just want to fucking just fucking throttle him for some reason. But so I thought Leonardo DiCaprio. So all of these movies that you're talking about, all went around my head. It's weird. All right, good question.
Thank you. So I was going. It took me a bit of time to come up with a question because I didn't want you just to turn around and go,
This is my answer.
Blah blah blah. But it did invoke a bit of you had
Well,
to think about it.
Any question you want to ask me about movies, I'll probably delve too deep into it. I can't not think too much about the movie question.
And just to say, the Q&A won't always be about movies.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is Finn will do next week, and then after that, we would hope that somebody might leave a comment in the comment section for a question for us.
That would be brilliant.
That's what we're kind of aiming for, that eventually that this will be our way to communicate with the people listening to us. Yeah. So it'll be like a viewer's question.
Yeah, get some ideas from the common folk.
The commoners.
All right, good question, Jason. Cheers.
Cool.
It's over to VJ.
Rightio. So I've kind of I've only got 3 clips for us tonight. I'm sticking on the team of for the first one. I'm sticking on the team of our alternative Olympics.
I thought you were going to say Special Olympics again.
No, keep the Special Olympics. We're just getting rid of the real or not the real Olympics, but the
shit one. Get rid of the shit Olympics
and
get the fucking alternative.
So
Olympics.
tonight's candidates. I was thinking about it. Like the real Olympics is a bit like. Basically, I think they could change around some of the things that they already have. Like I like the running, so what I'm proposing now is that they have weight classes in the running, just like boxing. So I want them to have heavyweight running, and this is basically my first. This is why.
Okay, let's have a look at this.
So like one of the chaps is not that heavy, but the lad nearest to us, he's a well proportioned lad.
He's a big lad, yeah. Good music. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's why.
I thought he was trying to fucking ram through something. He was like that battering ram or Ram Man from He-Man.
No, because if you think about it, like it's a bit unfair, the Olympics. Like no normal Joe Soap has a chance of ever getting the gold medal. Like so now at least like the bigger gentlemen, if you had the weight classes, like you have, flyweight, middleweight, lightweight.
There's going to be a lot of injuries in heavyweight running, mate.
There's going to be a lot of heart attacks as well.
As soon as that guy started, I think his first thought, as soon as they went go, he was like, I've never run before.
It's like, what am I doing?
He didn't know what he was doing. He was just like, I've seen it on telly. It must be easy. He started to go from the minute he started running.
His legs basically gave up on him because it was like
his legs never done it before either. But he looked like he was like when they're coming into the end and they're trying to do the finish when they put the head low. It was like, you've only just started, mate.
It's the 100 meters. It's not the 10 meters, mate.
It's not the diving. Yeah, pretty good. Go on then.
So then, this one I picked because recently it was almost minus 20 degrees here in Tianjin.
It was.
And like I like a pint, and I was always worried that if you got too jarred, like if you like fell over or something like that, and kind of you basically wake up dead, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So like, and this Chinese chap is kind of proof to what I'm.
Wow. KO'd.
I mean, if that was minus 20 degrees and nobody was videotaping him, it would have been game over for him. Like he would have fallen asleep there. And,
have you ever fallen asleep outside in cold weather?
I've never have, because in fairness, as much as I do like to drink, I kind of know my limit in a way. Like, I get really drunk, but I hate being like that drunk. You know what I mean? You strike me as a lad that has done that no once.
There's a couple of times I've kind of woken up outside and it's been in winter.
I've seen you fall. I've seen you fall blood sober, like. So.
Did you?
Yeah, twice coming into the pub there. You tripped over the front door, but like
fucking health and safety, mate.
That's why it's closed down.
Slippy floor.
Got sued a million times. But yeah, no, that I feel sorry for the guy because he did like clock his head fairly badly. But that's probably too many byjaws.
Well, you live and learn, don't you? It looks young. You know what I mean? You must have been in that state when you were young once. You've never been in that state. Well, I've never like. I don't think I'm. Actually,
Funnily
I
enough.
was just going to say I've never like keeled over and collapsed, but that's absolute bullshit. I have done that.
Yeah, and like I have to also admit that the last time we were in, not the last time we were in Jack's, shout out to Jack again.
Jack.
Great pub. If you haven't been, if you're in Tangent and you want to go to a good pub, especially in the summer, Jack's. He has a rooftop. It's pretty cool. Jack's a cool guy as well. But last time I came out of Jack, I was trying to open a bike and I got a bit upset because the bikes wouldn't open, and I did some move and I fell kind of similarly to that, but I didn't bump my head. But it's yeah, be careful out there in the cold weather, lads.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like a trip and a fall can happen anytime. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be drunk, but you do increase the chances of that showing you. Well then,
And then the last one. What's that sound? Oh, must be Russia.
hello.
It's
What's
the
that?
Russians.
Is that a fire alarm, Jason? What is
We
that?
can't have a TikTok review without the Russians.
Ah.
And this is on the. And the thing is, his mate just gave up on him. Like, he's like, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? We've all been in situations like that where your mate is more drunk than you, and you're like, why did we do this? Like,
yeah. Why did I bring him in this supermarket? But I mean, I imagine that's happening in Russia every night of the fucking week, and in England. To be honest, to be fair to the Russians, that's happening in England.
Oh yeah, but I started following this guy on YouTube as well. He's a Russian YouTuber, NK something or other. I have a fascination with Russia. I actually wouldn't mind going there.
I've been there.
It seems like a mad place. And I'm just not on about like people getting drunk and falling over. It's just like even all the old, USSR stuff. I'd love to go and visit all that. I have a bit of a fascination with the place.
Well, so I went to Moscow for 5 days with my mates, and but we were quite young, so it was a pretty crazy holiday. We were out till like 8 o'clock in the morning most nights, and it was great.
Yeah,
one of the best holidays I'd ever had. But it was amazing just to get, because that's the first time I'd been this way. Basically, it was like years ago, way before I came to China, and like even the train we got from the airport, like you could actually move between the carriages, you know what I mean? You could like open so you're almost outside, but it was like all the carriages were like full of ice, and we'd like never seen anything so cold. We went in November, you know what I mean? I'd just never seen so much snow and cold weather. And like they've got a beautiful subway in Moscow, one of the most beautiful. So it's a huge chandeliers hanging down, and there was nice people there. It's the only time I've ever had to go through a metal detector to get into McDonald's. First time that ever happened to me, but. Saw Lenin's grave and all those things. It was brilliant.
Yeah, because this lad now lives in some random city that like looks like a slum basically, but like he's saying basically like Moscow and St. Petersburg are like they're great, but the rest of Russia is kind of a bit, I won't say shit, but
run down.
Yeah, a bit run down. But it just looks so it smacks a lot of here. Like some of the videos I watched that you can just see old like abandoned buildings from the good old days. Like yeah.
Well, yeah, I like it. But I went years ago, but it was an amazing holiday. Really good. Great fun. Beautiful women as well. Let's say that about Russia.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Although they don't age too well, I don't think. Do they? I don't know.
Don't know. I was only there for 5 days.
You never seen a 60-year-old like going
All right. TikTok done.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
TikTok out the range.
Okay, we're on to the final segment, current affairs. This week, Finn will bring us our news story.
Yeah, I was reading through the stuff today. I guess this is not like, it's a story about something that's going on in the Chinese society or market, but I guess it's not limited to that. I'm sure it goes on in our country as well. But I read a newspaper story about the sort of rise in virtual girlfriends.
Oh yeah, I seen this story. Yeah,
and boyfriends.
Didn't read it. I just seen the article. Yeah,
and they said, to be honest, the article wasn't very clear about exactly what they are, but I looked a little bit more into it, and it seems to be like you almost create. Well, first of all, the reason is that they. I guess we all know the reasons in it. Like there's like a sort of de-marriage culture at the moment. Not many people are marrying, especially in lots of Asian countries, there's less marriage in China, especially in Korea and Japan. Like no one's having babies anymore or getting married and stuff. And
but there's also a massive imbalance in China between male and female, I think, isn't there? I think they were saying.
I think there's a slight imbalance. Yeah.
They were saying that a lot of them, which is surprising, it's a lot of females are getting into this, I believe.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what surprised me, one of the things. But, and obviously, I guess most people know the reasons. It's kind of like women have more freedom now, so they don't just have to get married, young and spend their life, in the house.
Which is good as well, it's fine.
And the rising cost of just having a family. Some people are just like, fuck it, I'm going to be destitute if I have kids and a home. And apparently some people are also getting nervous now. I know we've talked a little bit about social media. Just now, you hear so many horror stories of wives being mistreated, husbands,
especially in
mistreating their wives.
Just to give a bit of context to it, like in China, there is maybe not in the major big cities, but there's still a lot of. I won't say they're almost arranged marriages. Basically, they're not like arranged when they're just 10 or whatever, but they're like the parents put a lot of pressure on the kids here to get married, have a child.
Because we're only just coming out of the one-child policy generation. Now you can have more, but there's still a lot of people our age.
In fact, the government are encouraging people to have more now, but it's.
But still, the people who
the cost is the problem.
People who are now of marrying age, there's still huge numbers of people that don't have any brothers or sisters. So it does become a bit of a pressure thing. And recently, we won't go into the sort of individual stories, but recently there's been a lot of high profile stories of women that were murdered by their husbands, then there's just some few horrible stories. It's probably might be taken out of context a little bit. They've just been given a lot of media attention on them recently. So I was trying to work out what it was because it's all new to me. I don't spend that much time.
Virtual husbands and wives or something, is it?
Basically, yeah. I think it's almost like you create an avatar. Because I looked at one website and they were like, well, the first thing you got to do is create an avatar of yourself that makes you look appealing. Already I was like, what the fuck?
What's an avatar?
Well, no, I know. But just thinking you have to create a cartoon character of yourself that someone else is going to be, almost like it's almost like a dating profile, but it's a cartoon character.
The pressure of that alone.
That's what I mean. But then these companies, they give you help to do that. These are the kind of things you should have. You should probably have superpowers or what. I don't know what I don't know what it is, but you create an avatar yourself, and so so in that way, then do you create an avatar of yourself, and then you do actually meet a real person and become like virtual boyfriend and girlfriend, or I was wondering, is it you literally just have a program where there's just a computer simulated woman who, when you come in at night, goes, "You look great," or you say something and she's like, "That's so funny," and it's not a real person. Maybe there's both. I don't know.
Well, I think this is a.
But as you said, apparently it's 80% of the people that use it are women.
No, there is a bit of an imbalance, as we said, but I also wonder, is it because society, like with all social media and things like that, like less and less people are actually going out and meeting people. So most people are, either sitting at home or, sitting in a college dorm or whatever, and they're online like most of the time. Is it because humans will obviously always want to have a partner or like something like that, but
I think it's safe to say that's a natural feeling.
Yeah, is this like the?
But Jason, is it a natural feeling to want to have like a lifelong partner, or is it like?
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about marriage or anything, but I think people do. We're social. I do.
Yeah.
We have to agree that we're social, right? And I do think. You do want, it doesn't necessarily have to be a partner that you marry and you have kids with, right? But you need to have like friends or...
You need to have a connection with another person.
Yeah, because we seen that over the lockdown a year ago in COVID, like with our friend that like was on his own for a while. We actually were worried about him. Maybe we laughed and joked about it, but...
That was just 3 weeks of non-contact. So
yeah, the lack of human contact is a thing, like, so
that's definitely true.
Is AI replacing that, like, basically? Is it slowly creeping in and going to replace?
Well, this is what I was thinking. It's like, okay, if that's a problem now for countries, it's a massive problem. Birth rates going down is a fucking huge problem for any country. Like Japan, apparently they said, in the next 10 years or I think it was like Korea. Like last year was the first year, like ever on record that they had more deaths than births.
Yeah,
like that never happens.
But in fairness, in Japan they make cracking sex dolls, like so.
Well, that moves on to my point because I'm like, it is a big, generally for a country, like your country will collapse if birth rates keep going lower and lower and lower and death rates going higher and higher. You've got no more country after however many years. But I'm just thinking now these virtual services, girlfriends, boyfriends, chat buddies, online things, they're good in the short term, aren't they? Because I wouldn't want anyone to feel lonely, and if it's making you feel better, that's a great thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not solving the fucking problem, is it?
No,
making
because
it worse.
Making
it worse, isn't it?
It is.
I know people say, someone in this article said, that it's a faster paced lifestyle now for young people, and it's too hard to commit to a relationship. And I'm like, is it really that hard to go out and meet someone?
I don't think it is anyway, but...
Is it really? I don't know if it's just me being a bit blinkered, I'm not from the generation where it was online, but it's really a decision that you make. I mean, when I go out, there's people out.
Yeah, but this is where I'm bringing, like, again, we go back to me and you, Finn, were born in a time where there was no internet, and then we got integrated into this internet society. We have to realise that there's people out there that know better. So
that's true, but if you're lonely,
I remember
if you're lonely enough to get a fucking computer girlfriend.
No, but if you know no different, like if you're literally sitting at home playing, Fortnite,
but you only went and got a virtual girlfriend because you were lonely, and you must have been in your mind that you wanted a human partner. Sure.
Yeah, of course it is, but what if you're that type of person that like you're in that bubble that you just stay at home playing video games, and you're socially, you
socially inept.
Yeah, exactly, and you're afraid to go out, and like in Ireland and the UK, it's a little bit easier because I think most people find their partner or their girlfriend or whoever they're going to sleep with or whatever, they find them in the pub. You know what I mean? But you don't have that culture here. Yeah, no. You're kind of relying on either you meet somebody as a classmate, as a work colleague, or it's like an introduction that your parents introduce you to somebody. So like if you don't have those three things, then and those three things, to be honest with you, are a bit shit.
All right. Do you think then if let's say the internet didn't exist, and let's say you were just a person who, because there are people before the internet who didn't like going out.
I don't think I don't think it'd be an issue if you didn't have the internet.
I think you'd be forced into it, wouldn't you? I think the internet.
You'd have to go.
The internet has facilitated your lonely lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think if you really want to meet someone before the internet, there were lonely people and there were people who were socially awkward who didn't want to go out.
Yeah.
But if you got really lonely, you'd realise,
I better go out.
I've got to go out.
Yeah,
I've got to go. But now you kind of don't have to, and it's only going to get worse.
No, because I think we tipped on it there a few times over the podcasts. Especially in China, it's getting easier, and you literally don't have to leave your house anymore. You can get all the food you want. You can pay your fucking utility bills. You can get your shopping delivered. You can get everything delivered. I'm pretty sure. You can get a woman delivered or a man delivered if you want to. It's just gone that way. And even if you don't want to, no, you have virtual ones, so it's...
Well, what do you think? I mean, like I said...
I think it's sad, to be honest with you. I think it's sad.
Because, like I said, it's a huge... For any country, it's a national crisis. Like regulations on the internet, regulations on what you can do. Surely this is a very, very serious... This is going to bring down your economy in your entire country if people aren't getting married and having babies, and no one's having a baby with a virtual girlfriend.
No,
so why aren't there regulations on that?
Well, you can have a virtual baby, but it's not a real baby. But
it's not going to help the economy.
To put it on from a more selfish perspective, I don't think the people in those situations should care too much about the country as a whole, but the country needs to worry about these people more, and I think they need to take the pressure off people, and
well, countries like Korea and Japan are doing I mean, they recognise it's a fucking problem. So now, I think in Korea, they're more encouraged now to marry people from different countries than they were before, as I've heard. And
it's starting here as well. Like
and the countries are offering like much more financial aid to people with family. We used to what did my mum used to call it? Family allowance. We used to have, and people are being offered more packages of that because it's like an economical decision, isn't it? A lot of the time with people. For some people, it's loneliness and social awkwardness. For some people, it's like.
I think most of the story you're talking about tonight is social awkwardness, to be honest with you. But it is, and but the whole thing is starting to concern me a little bit. The whole internet thing is.
It's a weird way we're going.
Yeah, because it's getting more and more easier to like just be a hermit. You know what I mean? And also like feel that it's okay. I still have a connection to 1 million people. I remember when Facebook came out first. I remember after about a year or 2 years of it, saying to myself, why are we all liking each other's fucking photographs about, I love all my friends and blah, 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 but nobody was actually going out meeting each other, and I've deleted Facebook millions of times in my life and it's still deleted now because I just find myself going into this like, it's okay, I'm being social by sitting in front of a screen liking some guy's, photograph.
Which is bullshit.
It's not. You need to go down the pub. You need to go down the pool hall or go and play a game of basketball or badminton and it's not just all about sex. You need to have face-to-face human contact. Yeah. Even if it's only for 5 minutes or 20 minutes, you need to go and talk to another human.
Do you think video calling is okay then?
Video calling is a good substitute, but it's not the same either, I hate video calling, to be honest with you, myself. I'd rather do a normal phone call than a video call.
I'll tell you what though, it's amazing for people like us that live in other countries. It's an amazing thing.
It's fantastic. It's the next best thing to the real thing.
I've never have even seen
but it's not
without WeChat.
I don't think it's a replacement, because
you don't get to you
kick a ball at them or, rub their hair.
You don't get a tactile feeling with other people.
When I said rub their hair, I didn't mean that in a Joe Biden way.
Down the
I meant that like, the pat in the back, like the...
now I know why you're always rubbing my fucking hair down.
I never touched your fucking hair.
All right. Well, yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd mention this. But okay, well, one last question before we wrap this up. I would say, because I'm single, and I would never consider having a virtual girlfriend. The idea seems just ridiculous to me. If you weren't married and you felt lonely, would you do that?
Yeah, I think I would.
You'd have a virtual girlfriend?
Yeah, because to be honest, like in Ireland when I was a teenager and stuff, I didn't do too well with the ladies. Like, and when the internet came in, like they started off with all these chat rooms and stuff like that. And I remember like talking to people, like you would only be typing.
Opened a few doors for you.
Kind of like at least because you didn't have the whole thing like, oh, she's not going to like how I look or blah blah blah. So it was like you were chatting and you got a bit more confident and you would chat to people and stuff. Yeah. So I'm not knocking those people. Like I see where it comes from, but it's also I grew up. I went to another country. I found a wife, and I'm not saying that I had to go to another country to find a wife, but it's. You know what I mean? I grew out of it, and I hope that these people will grow out of it.
Well, that's the thing. I think the worrying thing is that it's like...
It's getting better and better, isn't it?
I feel like, the more you do it and the more technological improvements there are, it's like the less and less you're going to even want to try.
Exactly, and that's what I'm a little... Before it was literally you would be looking at a screen and it was just like text messages. Yeah. And you would have... Eventually you're kind of going, this is a bit boring now. I'd rather
go out and
rub sniff somebody's hair, right?
Well, okay. Well, I think what I might do, because I'm quite interested in this, maybe I will get a virtual girlfriend.
Give it a go
this week.
Nah, you won't be able to do that.
I know you.
Because you'll be like,
okay,
what after 20 minutes, you'll be like, do you want to meet in Heidi Low or?
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean like a computer-generated avatar that is programmed to... You can get that. You can get that. It's programmed to tell me I'm amazing or whatever, or everything I say is funny.
I think you do, and we track the progress on the podcast.
To be honest, when you said you won't be able to do that, what I thought was I'll be calling you going, Jason, how the fuck do I download this?
Oh, yeah, well, that is another issue. So basically, when Finn says that he will be doing it, it means I will be doing
It means
for him.
Jason will set it up on my computer and I'll tell him what happened. That's it.
And we'll also be calling him at like 2 o'clock in the morning going, your girlfriend wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
And he'll be like going, how do I do that?
I know. I'll probably be talking to us, but oh, fuck you. Just put Jason on. All right, well, maybe I'll do that. That would be interesting. It would be interesting to have a virtual girlfriend for a week and then report back on it next week and
Let's do that.
see what I'd done and see what
Yeah.
she'd said to me and stuff and how it made me feel and whatever. So, because I'm single, so I'll do it. You don't want a virtual girlfriend. All right, maybe I'll do that. All right, anyway, that's it.
Cool. All right, so that was number 6 in the bag.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We had some good conversations tonight. It was quite
Good
movie
chat.
themed.
It was very movie themed, unintentionally, but yeah.
I like talking about movies anyway. But yeah, so that's the last one done. Obviously, same again. Please give comments. If you good or bad, we're literally open to any comments whatsoever. If you've got any questions that you'd like
In the Q&A.
either one of us to put to the other one, or maybe we'll both answer, that would be great as well.
If you're interested in being a guest on the show, it doesn't matter if you're not in China. We can figure out a way to patch you in through
That's a
Zoom.
great point. I'd love to
Or something like
I'd
that.
love to interview any guests.
Anybody,
Yeah,
we're open to anything.
especially, I'd just like to mention one more time, Sergey.
Yeah, if you're out there, mate,
Get in touch.
we want you to.
But
be
we'd love
one
to
of our
interview
guests.
anyone.
Yeah.
So that's it. All right. Have a good day, whatever you're doing. Speak to you next week.
Bye bye.